All right, folks. Well, welcome to the runningrestaurants.com podcast, where we bring you the tips, tools, and techniques you need to make your restaurant more profitable and successful. I'm your host, Jaime Oikle. Today, we got a great Trends Talk episode for you with Ashley Bray, content director at the Bar and Restaurant Expo. And you can find them at barrestaurantexpo.com. We'll talk more about that. Ashley, welcome. I'm not sure exactly when this will air, but I think we're going to get out there pretty quick. The big show is March 18th to 20th, to 2024 in Las Vegas Convention Center. And I believe big is not an understatement. There's a lot going on, correct? Fair to say?
No, there definitely is. Thank you for having me. First of all, Jaime, it's wonderful to be on the podcast. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff going on. We have an early bird deadline that I wanted to mention at the top of the episode here on January 22nd. It's the cheapest you can get into the show, so I would take advantage of that if you're looking to come register by the 22nd to get that early bird rate. But we've got a lot of new things this year coming to the show, so we're excited.
Yeah, well, let's stay there for a second before we get into trends, because one of the things we're going to do is talk 3-4 trends. But what's the scope of the show, the agenda, the length of it? Does it kind of just run all day? There's special events wrapped around it. Talk a little bit about that, then we'll get into some of the trends.
Yeah, it's definitely an all-day thing if you want it to be. We have a conference program that starts actually on the 18th. It's just conference program the 18th, and then the exhibit floor opens the 19th and the 20th.
Okay.
And the conference program runs all day long. The show floor opens in the afternoon around noon. And then nighttime, if you're into it, we have platinum parties that you're welcome to attend. We have networking events. We always have a welcome kickoff party on the first night of the show. So there's something for everyone for sure.
Good. Yeah, no, it sounds like a lot of fun. All right, let's go right to the trend side. Some of the things you identified that you wanted to talk about that you're seeing and so forth. And the first one you mentioned was culinary cocktails. So what do you got going on there?
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's kind of a like drink your cocktail and eat it too type of thing. It's not new. Like if you think of a Bloody Mary or something like that, we've always had kind of these savory elements in cocktails, but we're seeing more of it now. Tomato is actually a big ingredient being used in more cocktails. Think of like a Caprese martini. And Technomic, which does a lot of data and trends in this industry, actually highlighted that as kind of a flavor of the year for 2024, which is interesting. So you're going to see a lot more cocktails with vegetal notes, more interaction between the bar and the kitchen as people, aim to use more ingredients and have less waste. Costs are going up. Customer visits are going down, unfortunately. So you want to use everything you are bringing into your bar or restaurant. And so if you can get use of across the kitchen and the bar, that's great. Mushroom and umami are flavors that also continue to trend. We're kind of seeing a trend for Asian flavors overall. So that kind of fits in with that as well. And a lot of these culinary cocktails have to do with wellness, right? Customers are looking for functional beverages. Like what does this do for me other than, quench a thirst or, give me a chance to be social. So people are looking for adaptogens. Collagen is a big one being put into drinks, CBD, cannabis in some markets. So things like that are really, really trending. And we're definitely going to be covering this at the Bar and Restaurant Expo. We have a new cocktail clubhouse this year. And we're going to be featuring live demos on trends such as culinary cocktails, operations, things like that. We have some top mixologists who will be coming. And we've announced Tiffany Barrier and Eric Castro so far. So excited to have them on board.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you how it's displayed at the show, but you kind of hit on it there. I'm sure there's the lights, the camera, the actions, everything kind of points down, and they kind of go through some demos and have fun with it. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's go to the next trend that you identified, no and low alcohol by volume stuff. So what do you think is driving this, and what are some of the new entrants, do you think?
Sure. So wellness is obviously a huge component of this as well, because people are abstaining for a number of reasons, but one of them is because they want to feel better. And unfortunately, alcohol does not typically make one feel great. So they are either choosing to abstain entirely. But what I found interesting is there's a statistic out there that nearly 80% of people who drink no and low non-alc cocktails also drink alcoholic cocktails. So maybe it's like they're doing a dry January thing and then they're drinking the other 11 months of the year, or, I'm not drinking at this particular occasion in my life for XYZ reason. So there's a lot of things pushing it, I believe, but wellness is definitely one of the big ones. I love this movement, and I hesitate to call it a trend because I feel like it's a movement. It's not a flash in the pan. It's not going to be here today, gone tomorrow. It enables bars and restaurants to be more inclusive. So everyone has a seat at the table, right? If you're going out with a group, if you think about it, the restaurant you choose is going to be dictated by the person with specialty allergies, or if someone is not drinking and they can't get a great non-alc cocktail at a certain location, you're probably not going to go there. So you want your bar to be chosen. You want to have a lot of options. And these are going beyond like your Shirley Temple or kind of like infantilizing drinks, like, a Sprite. People are actually making cocktails just without the alcohol in them. So people are trying to get away from the term mocktail because it's almost like a derogative term. It's almost making fun of it. So a lot of people are using zero proof, non-alcoholic cocktails, which can be a mouthful, but you can substitute it as non-alc on your menu. So it's definitely in the industry right now. A lot of people are using it on their menus. We're actually working on a state of the industry report that's going to come out this month. And almost 80% of the respondents, out of over 200 people in our survey, said that they have non-alc on their menu in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a huge focus or just something that they're testing out. So it's here to stay for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've seen the big brands are all jumping on board with an entrant too. It seems
100%. Yeah, it's mainstream at this point. It's not, typically it was just like an O'Doul's on the bottom of the menu.
Yeah, there was one or two choices on the planet. So now,
now if you show up at a restaurant, and I actually make it a point to look at the menu, and if they don't have a non-alc section, it's almost like, what are you doing? You're missing the boat on this. And it's an upsell, right? So if I come to your restaurant and I'm not looking to drink a cocktail, and I order a water, which is $0, or Sprite, which is only a few dollars, by enabling somebody to order this elevated non-alc cocktail, that's profit there. It's an upsell that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So
yeah, I like it. All right, good stuff there. All right, let's move into a couple operational trends. One that you identified is, and I agree with this because we dine out too much as a family. It seems, in my value equation just hasn't been there all the time. So value and guest experience as it relates to loyalty programs. What are you seeing? What are restaurants doing to make the value proposition stronger? What do you think?
Yeah. So rising costs are obviously a huge concern for bars and restaurants as well as the consumer. And so people are still visiting restaurants. It's just they're visiting them less frequently. So how do you get the most out of them when they do come to you?
Yeah.
And a lot of it is by providing a great guest experience and through loyalty programs. I've seen a lot of people talk about this topic. At the end of the year, there was a ton of trends, webinars, things like that. And people said it's not just about saving money when you're talking about a loyalty program. It's about creating a community, and it's about creating a value aside from the dollar amount for your customer. So what is driving them back in? Is it, a unique entertainment experience? You like certain type of games? Are you showing a sporting event that they can't see anywhere else, for example? Things like that. And then it should also create a sense of community in the sense that it's a place for people to gather. Like, this is your neighborhood bar or restaurant. Like, you feel like you are plugged into this, this community through this loyalty program, whether that's through the opportunity to earn merch, for example, certain branding aspects like that. In our conference program, we are going to have a couple sessions that speak to this. Good. We're going to have one on branding, and we're also going to have a ton of entertainment options and games on the show floor. So if that's something you're looking to bring in to kind of differentiate yourself from others, it's definitely an option.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to kind of just my experience lately. I feel like restaurants are missing the boat in terms of that connection, the community aspect. Why choose you over the other? Mm-hmm. We're in a medium-sized suburban market, but still I have 20, 30, 40 choices as you expand the choices when I choose for lunch, dinner with the family, or date night, whatever. Why do I choose you? Why go there? What are you doing to attract me? What's different? And nobody, for lack of a better argument, in my market is doing anything special. So it's like, we just choose something, whether it's convenience, location. So do something, pull me in, make me come to you. So looking forward to seeing that sort of stuff there and talked about. Let's go to employee retention. Another just gigantic issue, continues to be forefront for everyone across the country. Are there talks on this? Are there vendors that kind of highlight this sort of stuff? What do you see?
Both. We have a whole, at the show, we're going to have a whole track on staffing. It continues to be a problem. It's been a problem for the last few years coming out of the pandemic, as a lot of the old guard kind of left for, newer pastures. Yeah. So labor hiring, it's a problem. What's kind of emerged in the last few years as a quote unquote solution to this issue is employee retention. So you're looking to, promote from within. You need a restaurant manager, you need a bar manager. You kind of want to build what you already have in-house up into that role. So it's a lot to do with training. It's a lot to do with programs that allow you to keep those employees. So things that keep employees on board are career pathing. They're looking to, say, all right, I've started as a dishwasher. How do I move up? Or I've started as a hostess. How do I, move into a waitress role or a manager role? Kind of providing a path for them and a training program to get them there. Benefits are also huge. I think one of the big things that came out of the pandemic was that we realized as an industry, we're not great with benefits, whether it be healthcare, whether it be 401ks, things like that. So whatever your bar or restaurant can provide to meet those employee needs is huge. And then treating people like assets. I mean, you think about the food and the beverage and the quality of that, and all of these things that add up to make your bottom line. But the biggest asset in your bar or restaurant is your people, and so you need to start treating them that way, and you'll find that they'll stay and they'll grow with you as a company as well.
Yeah. We hit on that in a lot of our podcasts, in a lot of our sessions, in a lot of our content, the people, the culture, building a team, A players, A players, B players, C players. You certainly want to get rid of the C players. And then can you develop Bs into As? How can you find more As? Employee retention that you talked about is an absolute great way to do it. Folks, grow with your brand, show them the path. So many success stories of folks that started as a dishwasher, started as a host, bang, 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 general manager of the region, controlling,
Exactly.
so much. So that there is a career path for there. It doesn't have to be a transitory environment for folks. So great stuff there. I'm sure there's tons and tons more going to be on the show floor. Talk about your website, social, registration. What do you think?
All that good stuff. Yeah. So barandrestaurantexpo.com is our site. Like I mentioned, the early bird rates are good through January 22nd. So definitely take advantage of that if you're looking to come out to the show. Again, it's March 18th through the 20th. We have a couple tiers of registration. We have a VIP tier. We have a conference and an expo pass if you're looking to get some of that education, as well as walk the show floor and see different products. We have a party pass you can add on to certain things if you're interested in the platinum parties at night. We have them at some of the biggest nightclubs in Las Vegas, and it's a different way to kind of to see those. They open just for us, and we have a couple of hours where it's just Bar and Restaurant Expo attendees if you have that pass. And so you kind of gives you a chance to kind of let loose, have fun with the industry, see those nightclubs from a different perspective. So.
Wow. So, and you're in Vegas. So what can go wrong? So,
when in Vegas.
Fun place to be, big show, lots of stuff will go on. So learn a little bit, have fun a little bit, party a little bit, etc. Good stuff. All right, folks, that was Ashley Bray, content director at the Bar and Restaurant Expo. You can find more information on the expo as well as the registration at barandrestaurantexpo.com. So barandrestaurantexpo.com. For more great restaurant marketing, service people, and tech tips, stay tuned to us here at runningrestaurants.com. In the meantime, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to us, give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts or see the show. We would certainly appreciate that. So thank you so much, Ashley. We'll see folks next time.
Thanks, Jamie.